So you've decided that you want to adopt a child from foster care, right? You've settled the issue. I don't want to be a foster parent. I just want to adopt a child who's already waiting, right? Whose parents' rights have already been terminated. And I just want to be able to go and adopt a child in the foster care system. If that's you, stick around because in this video, I am going to talk to you about the 10 steps that you need to take to be able to adopt a waiting child from foster care. For the best adoption advice and advocacy for children, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to be notified when I post a new video every week. All right, so here are the 10 steps that you need to take if you want to adopt a waiting child from the foster care system in your state. Okay, so let's say you live in California and you're looking to adopt a child who's waiting in the foster care system in California. Okay, step number 1. Call a foster care agency in your state to start the home study process. There are several types of agencies that you can choose from. You can either go through your state's foster care agency if they're decent, or you can use a private adoption agency who also can help with your foster care licensing. All right, and step number 2, look on your state's Heart Gallery website to find the child that you actually are interested in adopting. Now, I want you to keep in mind that not all children who are actually available to be adopted are on the Heart Gallery website because the court has to actually approve of the children's pictures to be posted on the website, okay? So it's not something where, they're just gonna slap the kids' pictures on that website. So some of the children, maybe their parents' rights just got terminated a month or two ago, and it just hasn't made it through the system to where you can see their pictures yet. And some children, I've worked with some of the children who don't want their pictures on the website, okay? So, the list that you have on your website is not an exhaustive list. So just keep that in mind. I usually recommend waiting until your home study is completed before you start looking at the website. And because once you see a child or siblings that you feel like, oh my gosh, I really want to adopt these children, if you don't have your home study done, it takes a few months for your home study to be done. So within that time that you're waiting to get your home study approved, another family can come in and adopt those children, okay? So I usually say it's just better to wait to get your home study done before you start doing your search, because then when you find a child that you want to adopt, all you have to do is, click on their picture or contact their caseworker and say, hey, my home study is completed. I'm interested in adopting this child. What are the next steps? All right, and that leads me into step number 3. The third step is to contact the phone number that's attached to that child's picture or whatever other contact number you need to call, and let them know that you're interested in that specific child or children that you want to adopt, and ask them how they can assist you through the adoption process. Step number 4, okay, the agency who completed your home study, they will send your home study report to that caseworker that is assigned to that child. Or they'll send it to whoever needs to have your home study for you to be considered for adopting that child. Step number 5, the caseworker for the child or whoever is in charge of reviewing your home study, they will review your home study and decide if they think that your home study and who you are as a family is a good match for that child. Now, I'm not sure how it works in every single state, but most of the time, the ideal situation is to have the caseworker who's working with the child to review the home study and to basically vet you as the family, because they know the child best, right? We hope so. And hopefully they've been involved in the child's case for a while. And so when they go through your home study, they can make a decision as to whether they think you're a good fit or not. Now, again, this works differently in every state, right? There's a way that they do all of this, but that's kind of the idea. Step 6. If the caseworker or whoever is in charge of reviewing your home study, if they think that you're a good match for that child, they're going to set up a meeting between you, the child, and that child's current foster parents, and just do like a brief introduction so that you all can meet each other for the first time. Now, again, this probably looks different in every single state, but the idea is that there's some type of introduction between you, the current foster family, and the child. Step number 7, a plan is then put into place for you and the child to be able to visit each other until they feel like it's a good time for the child to be able to be placed completely in your home, right? So the idea here is to do incremental steps of, you getting to know the child getting to know you, and doing visits until it's just the right time for that child to be able to be placed in your home. Step number 8. Once that child is placed in your home, you have to wait at least 6 months before the adoption can be finalized. In Nebraska, that's true, you have to wait 6 months. And in most of the states that I have personally spoken to, it's also 6 months that they require for you to have that child placed in your home before you can finalize the adoption. Again, you want to check with your state's laws and understand what that time period is. So the whole point of that waiting period for the 6 months is to minimize disruptions as much as possible, because what they don't want to do, right, is to have this child, after all this time getting to know you, doing visits, coming to your home, and they want to give time for that honeymoon period also to be over, because of course this is a brand new thing and everybody's excited. But 6 months, the state has decided, is a good amount of time to gauge, to see if things are going to keep going well. I would argue that you probably need more than 6 months, because a lot of issues don't start surfacing sometimes for years down the road. But again, for the sake of permanency, we have to have some timeline for both you as the adoptive family and the child to provide some type of permanency, okay? So that's why it's done that way. Step number 9 is to hire an adoption attorney to help you finalize the adoption of that child in your state. And then step number 10 is you go to court and the adoption is finalized, and now this kiddo is legally yours. So those are the 10 steps that you would typically need to take to adopt a waiting child from foster care. Now, again, in every state, every case is different. You may have 15 steps for yours, you may have only 5 steps for yours, but the idea here is to give you kind of a general idea of what the process is supposed to look like once it goes pretty smoothly for you to be able to adopt a child in the foster care system. These 10 steps are assuming that your foster care agency moves pretty quickly when it comes to these things, that there's not a lot of bureaucracy involved, that you can contact your caseworkers pretty quickly, and that the agency and the caseworkers and everybody involved communicates pretty easily. Okay, so of course you just want to keep that in mind as you're thinking through these 10 steps that I just gave you. Now let's talk about adopting a waiting child from another state. Okay, so let's say you live in California and you want to adopt a child from foster care from Tennessee. Okay, that's just the decision that you've made. The same steps that I gave you earlier are basically what you're also going to follow. However, you're going to have some added steps to that process. Okay, that includes doing a home study from an agency that's going to be accepted by Tennessee. Okay, so let's use the California-Tennessee example. So you want to adopt from Tennessee, right? And so let's say that Tennessee requires you to do your home study through a private adoption agency, okay? That means that they don't want you to get your foster care home study done from California's public agency. Why? Maybe because they just don't get along really well with California's foster care agency, okay? So what you want to do when you want to adopt a waiting child from another state is to contact that other state, backtrack your steps, okay, by figuring out what agency they need you to do your home study from before you go back to your own state and start your home study there, okay? So once you do that, that's going to give you a better idea of how to actually adopt that child from the other state, okay? So this is one of the ways that I helped all of my clients who are currently in my adoption course really understand how to adapt and set themselves up for success, okay? So if you're interested in starting the adoption process, if you want to adopt in foster care in your own state or outside of your state and you're like, I need some help, go ahead and click the link below to apply to join my course, and I would love to help you out. Now, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was really helpful, okay? So if you liked it, make sure that you smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.